What secret are you keeping right now? I'm currently working in a cafe and I work pretty hard and have more experience, so I get paid a bit more than other staff, and they found out. This has changed how a few of them treat me, but they don't realize I'm in the process of buying the business, and how they treat me and act is going to influence if I renew their contracts or not. Throwaway because duh, I committed fraud to get out of school. I legit faked my mother's death certificate so I could leave with little repercussions after the add/drop period. Told everyone my mom died in a car accident and I had to leave to take care of the estate. I'm doing much better mentally now. I really do care about it that much, but I'm 29 and still a virgin. I was raised super religious, so dating was out of question. I started losing my faith when I was 23. Another secret. I feel like I'm so far behind when it comes to dating that I never really found the courage to even ask anyone out. It's not about courage, bro. It's just about realizing that no harm comes from being rejected. You just turn right around and shoot another shot with someone else. Especially if it's a cute stranger out in the wild. Get rejected and you'll never see them again. Lol. That I was the guy my now best friend's girlfriend had an affair with. I didn't even know him at the time. I just met her, we hit it off for a few months, then went our separate ways. She never told me she was with someone. Years later, I met him through a mutual friend of ours, and as we got to know each other, the past came out and now I'm sure it's true. I'll never tell him or anyone else. I had started seeing this guy that I ended up head over heels for, and he ended up blocking me on everything the other day. Don't know what I did wrong, but he just bailed. Usually that'd be fine, but I think I might be pregnant now, because my life always seems to work this spectacularly. I never told anyone this, but I really need to get this off my chest. I'm attracted to both girls and boys, but I don't know to the extent. I know that there's a spectrum, but the confusion of questioning every day if I just like girls, just like guys, like girls more than guys, or like guys more than girls is absolutely killing me. I question every day and wonder what would happen if I told my family. I know my siblings would support me. Not sure about my brother, but my mum's kind of iffy. I need her right now, and I can't afford her to lose her or cause her any stress. I'm hiding who I am, but I don't even know who that is, and that just hurts. I recently explored a kink of mine that I'd wanted to try for a long time, and I hated every second of it. The trouble is that the woman I did it with is a close friend who essentially did it as a favor. She asks me how it was, and I have no idea how to say it felt weird and gross, so now I feel like a friend. My family doesn't know I walked out of my job nearly 4 weeks ago. I had 2 solid interviews that fell through afterwards, and I'm still looking. I think I'll get a call back after the job interview I had today. I'm too embarrassed to tell them, because I don't want any more financial help from them. I'm late on rent and broke. The last time I went to my mom's house I stole a couple rolls of toilet paper. I killed a homeless man 4 years ago, and it may be the end of me. I've killed before, in combat, but this happened so fast my sober brain didn't have time to respond. I was drunk of my ass in New Orleans and some homeless guy asked me for money. I pulled out my wallet and gave him a 20. He sees the rest of the cash and asks me for more. I slur something along the lines of "Nah bro, I need it," and he pulls a knife. Quick as shit, didn't even have time to think. Talk to over, and the next thing I know he's on the ground. I'm on top of him, and the knife is buried in his neck. I ran as fast as I could back to my hotel, and tried in vain to fall asleep. 13 years later, I can still remember everything. How the guy stank, how the knife felt in my hand, how hot his blood was on my wrist. I usually drink myself to sleep. My wife and kids know I saw some during my tours, but they don't know the reason I hate nighttime is from after my discharge. My doctor says I can expect total liver failure in less than 5 years, and TBH I'm looking forward to it. I want to atone for my crime and leave my family in peace. I've never told anyone. I've been secretly using heroin for the past 3 years and using every day for 3 months. I still hold a decent job and I'm finishing my business degree, but lately the drugs have started to take a hold and I'm starting to no care about my ambitions anymore. I want to stop, but I always go back to it after 2 weeks and I'm not sure what to do. Probably going to get buried, but I recently started dating my friend of almost 10 years. Things are going really well, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to tell him that I've had feelings for him for years before we started dating, even when I was married to someone else. I never acknowledged this fact or even said it aloud, but I still feel guilty. That I moved to states away to be with my girlfriend, pushing my graduation date a year farther out and putting me away from anyone I've ever met. Turns out I'm not happy with her and I want to get out of this relationship, but I can't afford to live on my own. And if I move back home I'll add at least another year of school. Not sure what to do about it. I saved my ex-best friend's marriage. Her and I had a falling out. She reached out to me when her husband asked her for a divorce. He asked me for advice on how to win her back after he regretted it. I typed up everything he should have said and he sent my words. She still doesn't know that when he felt like giving up, when she was too hurt to forgive him, I was there to help him and keep him up. You're welcome. Your husband is the way he is because of me and my efforts, even though you were a friend. I had a falling out with one of my best friends about 2.5 years ago. Now I really hate the guy, but I still keep everything he told me a secret. If there's one thing I pride myself with in this world, it's that if someone tells me a secret, I will never give it up, assuming it isn't like super illegal or something. I think I'm falling in love with my best friend of 7 years. We've only takes online and are only meeting for the first time this August. He's put up with a lot from me and has hinted his feelings for me on multiple occasions, and I think I'm falling for him, and that terrifies me, and I don't plan on ever letting him know or even think I am. A year ago I slept with my friend who was married and had 3 kids. I'm sure he was sleeping with other girls too. I only knew his wife slightly. I talked to her once or twice. She's really sweet, and after I met her, I promised to stop sleeping with him and maybe gain courage to tell her. He passed away earlier this year and his wife truly believed he was faithful. I can never tell her. It would break her. I work a pretty dangerous job where I'm frequently faced with the reality of violence. I've had knives pulled on me countless times and have been in 2 shootings over the years. I secretly hope that one day I just don't make it home from work, because the last 9 months of my personal life have been one bad thing after another with no signs of getting better. Literally going to get in the shower and go to work now. My brother-in-law has been cheating on my sister for 8 years now. I know because she told me. At first she was upset and wanted to go to counseling. After he was told he would have to give up his girlfriend, he refused and stopped going. Then they were going to get divorced, but when she realized that she would have to move out of their McMansion and he learned that he would have to pay child support, they decided to delay the process. He did move into the guest room, so I guess that was something. Today they have been living like roommates for 5 years. He still goes off with his girlfriend, not the same one, and her entire life revolves around their kid. Her Facebook page documents the day-to-day minutiae of a perfect nuclear family. It is disgustingly saccharine sweet with friends congratulating her on her perfect life. In private I've asked her if she really wants to live like this. She said that it works for them for now, so she is going with it. Behind the scenes, they are engaged in a cold war with occasional flare-ups. Most recently she lost her job and he refused to put her on his health insurance. He remembered to add their kid during open enrollment last fall, but decided not to add her because it would cost him money. She currently has no insurance. I've asked her to let me know when she decides to move in one direction or the other, but in this limbo it is hard to know how to treat him. He's a dick to her, and I'm sure she is to him, while they both raise a child with a ringside seat to all this going down. It's a mess. I've been losing a lot of weight because I'm not eating as much as I should. Every time I feel the fat on my stomach, I feel disgusting. I feel like just taking a knife and removing the fat myself. So far I weigh about 155 pounds, but I have a feeling the scale is broken or lying. This has been going on for a year. I know it's unhealthy, but it feels so good. Some days I just don't eat at all. Some days I've nearly passed out because I refuse to eat something sweet. I've never told this to anyone, not even my family. I know I have a problem, but some problems can't be fixed. I ended up going from 220 pounds down to 150 since January. So it's either a rapidly progressing tumor or my weight loss trick is working. I slept with my boss long before he became my boss. Now I work for him and all I can think about is that. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe.